All right, welcome back to Hand-ufacturing. We are going back to, I'm going to guess India, I'm not quite sure. I chose a sequence of casting molds of Ganeshes, statuary. We had the baby Ganesh, if you saw in the Silicone 101. Now I'm going to show the casting of a medium one, and another video that's coming up is going to be a Ganesh that is about 24 feet tall, and it's pretty exciting. So we're going to go little, big, bigger, three bears. This guy, I watched this video and it really shows how people who are very skilled at casting plaster, old school, really do it. So let's get with this right now. Since his video just jumps right into it, let me tell you what he's doing here. He has a soapy water solution that he's dunking. This is a latex mold. He's dunking the latex liner in that mold, and that's going to break the surface tension for when he adds the plaster inside. Here we go. I love seeing stuff that I've never seen before. This trick right here is, you notice the seam line went right down the middle here. This piece of fabric is basically going to inhibit the seam line from leaking, because that leak would translate into his mold here, and gradually it would build up and cause a distortion in the way the liner sat into the mother mold. This is a great play. I really like it. He could have used a piece of plastic, but well done, guy. Looks like a hydrocal mother mold. He's got these tie backs built into it. Rope, because it's in irregular shape, versus straps. I mean, he casts probably hundreds of these because he has a specific station customized for that particular statue. We're just going to say statuary plaster and hydrocal. He's probably doing a blend. Man, he doesn't wait for that to soak or anything, just boom. I mean, he's cast so much more plaster than me. I'm the student today. So he's made this paste to seal up the seam line before he puts in the water, the gel coat. This is brilliant. He knows that's a problem area. I like this little mouse here. That's going to be great. In mold making, you begin to see in the negative like it's positive. It's like X-ray vision, just not as exciting. All right, he's got a lot of business activity. I mean, this is go for it. Love it. I'm going to share pictures of when I worked in a plaster casting studio. I've mentioned it before, Alchemy and Sons. And it was, every time I walked into that building, it was like I was in the 1800s. And even the guys that worked there looked like they were in the 1800s. And we did some far out stuff there. A lot of Frank Lloyd Wright architecture we did there. Reproductions for giftware. So that was his gel coat. I know it's not a gel coat. I don't know what else to call it. A wet coat? I like how he washed his hands as he put the water in the bucket he was about to mix with. I mean, this is just that ease of movement. He's got to have good knees, right? All right, this is the sisal. He's going to make these little hamburger patties. So that plaster started to go off, and he knows exactly when to get it. And he's reaching down into what would be the solid neck of the Ganesh, and he's putting some extra, like you see what I see, on the edges. Now he's going to fold those edges back in, but He doesn't want just a solid block in the neck. He's smearing it around in there. He is the rotational caster. Instead of rotating the mold, he's dragging it around. He's got a ceiling fan at least, right? You can see this, I mean, this debris pile over here. It's a couple hundred Ganeshes. I mean, I'll stop and show you his shop in a minute. Right now, it's just fascinating. He grabbed that mop of sisal, and he's using it not just to cast with, but he's created a tool for himself. Instead of a sponge he's got to clean up later, he's made a temporary sponge for himself. He's like, well, I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to abandon it. It's a brilliant, simple plan. He knows where everything goes. Here he goes. He's going to do his edge work now. Chiraka. I mean, could you imagine if we had like a contest? You know how they have races where people run? Who can cast the Ganesh the fastest? Oh my God, it would be a disaster. Like, I know how to do stuff, but I would not be. I mean, this is what he does. I mean, he would kick my ass. He's working fast though. He's Yeah, it doesn't matter for a statuary casting if you're close. Kay was, oh, you got a mic on? Yeah, okay. But he doesn't even make any noise when he gets up. When I get up, I'm like, this is the 55-year-old noisemaker. Yeah, here he goes. I mean, he is so confident. He doesn't even question what he just did because he's done it so many times. This is what happens in any craft. This is why they're fast. It's not that another person could move as fast, but he doesn't go back in to repeat anything. And almost he has to move this fast because he has his plaster timed to the couple of minutes for this statue. Oh wait, did you see that? Okay, wait. Let's see if the camera loosens up the shot again. Yeah, he's just, what do I say? It's kind of like watching a race car driver do a perfect job. He's not about to crash, he hasn't lost control. He's making money for his family. Oh, it blocked it. I was going to say, when the screen opens, if you guys can look up in this upper left-hand corner, you'll see all the finished Ganeshes, and it looks like they paint them afterwards. A lot of Americans just like the Ganesh just with an antique finish. They're not as, the cartoon colors, the festival colors are not as popular at all. I mean, you got this guy over here in the back. Yep. Yeah, he's just busting all the rules. A lot of people say don't use metal on molds. Latex is extremely strong, but it does distort over time. You have to take care of it in the sense of keeping it in its correct shape. Even this guy's got the tarp down, you know? It's more than a lot of people we see on these other videos do. So, let me fix my microphone here. What we got going on right now is you can see the little hands that he's going to cast in these molds here, and part of the trunk. He's just using his hands as a funnel. I mean, talk about a minimalist thing. It's absolutely nothing more than he needs. While he's doing this, I want to talk about the business of this. You can see in this instance that, sure, he's great with plaster, but if he spends the same amount of energy building something that someone's not interested in, he's doing this for money, not for the art, right? This is his job. And so the investment of taking the time to make a really good mold matters in his instance, because if it was a bad mold, he's going to be correcting for it every time, times 100. And wait till you see this. I peeked ahead. I'll hold my thought. It's got all these dropout cores. Right, it's a little puzzle. He knew to lift it. He's taken this apart 100 times. But what I was saying was, if that mold isn't doing exactly what that mold should do, I mean, this is he has another one right here. So latex, you can yank on it pretty hard, but it is, I never worked with latex, like only at the old Plaster company, and they were so worn out. But he's doing a lot of yoinkage here. The other thing is he knows exactly where to be careful with the mold. A lot of times people will make a mold and don't realize the first couple times you actually cast it, you have to get a reading from the mold to know how it handles, because there may be some special treatment areas, like he just handled the tusks. And the first time he unmolded, look at this. I mean, latex is strong. Silicone would wear out there. This is where you'd have to put reinforcement. Isn't it amazing that something so beautiful can come from this kind of crappy looking plaster thing? Nail it. Here's our mouse. Oh, it went away.
Here's the mouse.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. I don't know enough about it. And here's the hands. He's got the fabric seam stoppers here. Chasing it out right away. For all the mold makers out there who are making casting molds, let me, I'm going to stop it here when he gets, well, I'll stop it right now. If you look at the size of this flange around the top, you remember that guy that did the face mold? He didn't take that was really heavy, and I bitched about it. I don't know if that's a public one already. And he didn't take his flange way out over the edge. And when you have a big flange, all of that plaster handling doesn't spill in under the mold. It's like it creates this umbrella effect that keeps the rest of your mother mold clean. It's the right thing to do. Extends your mold life is what I mean by the right thing. Yeah, he doesn't break a thing. With our hand casting, we broke everything. We were just messing.
Next to
We were messing around. One rubber band, not 6. It's a car inner tube. The simplicity is just amazing. How many times do you think you did this, Kay?
maybe at least
years.
Yeah,
Thousands.
quite a lot.
I wonder if these guys get if they get paid by the piece?
I think they get paid by day. Like,
By the day?
Like you work one day, you get like $2, maybe even less.
Wow. But what if it's his family's shop? No?
Then he works for free.
Okay, then he worked. You worked for your family before, right? Okay. You work for free. I mean, this is the thing about religious statuary is that, I mean, the design is kind of locked down. I mean, someone else is going to make a Ganesh also. How do you compete with that? It seems there's no creativity there. You're not allowed, right? It's an icon. So, yeah, religious stuff, statuary is captivating to me because if you think about it, if someone has like a Virgin Mary in the yard and they think it's a sacred thing, but when you think about where it came from the same bag of cement that made the cement poodle, that made Mary. It's not the statue that's special. It's what a person projects into it. I mean, obviously, and but I don't know why they never improve the design of the pieces. I've seen a lot of Virgin Mary statues, and it wouldn't take much more to make them really, really elegant. But it's the same effort to make something so-so or something really amazing. Look at this. He's got this is his cockpit, right, for the jet. Oh, he's got better posture than me. I better sit up straight. Let's check out his shop in the background. I see a couple other Ganesh molds. I mean, there's nothing to say here other than this guy's just getting it done. The seam was well placed, right in the little fatty spine. And I don't know if he's going to patch it or just trim it. I mean, the thing about something like this is once you sell it, it's not like there's going to be a return. Konkan spirit. So we'll fast forward through this a little bit, I think, this part.
It's just like
Yeah.
purping details.
But it is pretty real time. I mean, if it's taken 30 minutes for this guy to knock out a piece, that's extremely fast for something that has attachments this size. But his shop is tuned for this particular production. He's not looking for anything that he needs. When you guys ask me to make molds back here, it's a new shop for me, and I'm like, where's my hammer? Where's my screwdriver? I'm not comfortable with it yet.
And he does one thing again and again, so there's no like different molds like going on.
It doesn't look like it from this video, but my guess is they have a library of a handful of molds. I don't know if they make them or like where the molds come from. They probably did it. Yeah, he's just going to paste this up. Well, he's going to patch it. I'm going to fast forward. Did he put on the hands yet? Let's see. Okay, so he's attached 2 hands. We'll leave a couple more for you guys to see. It's just, you see the negative cavity at the right here, that becomes a place of mechanical lock for what he's pasting together. What's pretty impressive is that even though that arm is out there hanging with gravity, he's got it so much time that it just sticks in place and it's not dropping down. It's not falling. That's perfectly timed. He's going to do the other one, you get it? And then... Yeah, it's a nice sculpture. Has a lot of depth and shadow. It's not... It doesn't look worn out. Sometimes you can... I'll talk about that at the end. Here's the trunk. It really looks like it has an energy about it now. Once we put on the hands and is it hot in here, or am I thinking I'm hot in India?
I don't think it's hot.
Oh my gosh, I'm cooking. All right, so here we go. This guy's finishing up, and I'll pause when he does the reveal. So he's just cleaning it up. This guy's got some great casting skills, and he just seems like a machine on this. What I would say about the casting and the artwork with, iconographic, if that's a word, statuary, is that if a mold shop doesn't keep the original, let's say they produce this for 20 years and they use that mold for 20 years and gradually that mold wears out and nobody kept the original, they're making a mold from a 20-year-old casting that's already been weathered down. And this is how generational detail gets lost. So you always want to archive your molds, because the molds will deteriorate. You want to archive your master models if you can, so you can always go back to a high detail sculpture. I'll bet you he could run 2 molds at the same time here, no big problem for him. But this is really remarkable to me, because what's happening is mold making and casting is just isolated into one object from what they're showing here. He doesn't have to have this diversity of skill sets to provide for his family. He just needs to have a wide enough market that this one shape or shapes like it, can venture through it. I remember working for a company that manufactured for the Catholic Church, and pretty much everything they made had a cross on it or something like this. And I was like, all the skilled craftsmen that they had in that place could build a lot of other things, but they, for some reason, just decided that that was what they were gonna build. That was their niche. Candle holders, candle holders, candle holders. I would get bored. This would wear me out after doing it 10 times, but not if I had a hungry couple kids at home. I would do whatever it took. So congratulations to this guy for making something hard look really easy, and I'm gonna look at some of his social media. Mold Makers High Five.